Hello, welcome to SureFire Live. Hope you guys are doing well. Looks like we've got a nice crowd already building tonight. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, I'm going to have a couple of guests on tonight. Gentleman I've known for quite a while, Jim Ferguson and his daughter Angela are going to show us the Chimspect Advanced software for chimney inspections. I'm excited to talk to them. I know a lot of people are. It seems to be a hot topic. A lot of people like to talk about how they do it, and there's some out there, and I know Jim's been around for quite a while. I can't wait to talk to him. I hope you guys are having a good week. We had my company Christmas party this week for Ashbusters, and it was a lot of fun. We rent out this venue and get to have everybody come in with their husbands and wives and family members, really thank them for not giving, but having their husband's wife work for us, because this time of year it gets pretty busy and takes a whole team. And then we give out gifts and things and awards, and it's a lot of fun. So we did that. And then last night, my daughter and I and my wife and another friend went to see the Wonka movie. You guys know I'm in the chocolate business. And it was so funny because these girls were sitting in front of us that were dressed like the Oompa Loompas. They had the green hair, and throughout the whole movie, they were really funny. And then at the end, I said, "Hey, would you mind taking a picture with us with the sign out front?" And I said, I really do own a chocolate factory, and they were going crazy. So it was funny because the Oompa Loompas go to work for Willy Wonka at the end. So it was fun. Got a couple early comments. So Chuck Roydhouse says, "Can't wait." Hey, Chuck, thanks for joining us tonight. And then Chad Murray says, "Merry Christmas." And Josh Osberger says, "Hey, Mark, enjoy your eggnog." Yeah, so Josh at the company party got me some Shine Nog, and I almost brought it out tonight for the pre-Christmas party. I was going to have my moonshine eggnog. I decided against it because I'm trying to be professional tonight with my guests. If it was just me, maybe we would go sideways. So, all right, guys, hope you guys are doing well. This is an open conversation, and Jim and Angela are here to answer questions on their software, so please feel free. We are going to start, and I'm going to introduce them, and then we're going to bring on a demo of their work. It's about a 30-minute demo. We're going to watch the whole thing, but ask questions during the video, so that they'll be piling up. And when we finish with that, then we will answer your questions, and we'll take as long as it takes. Skyscraper says, "I actually own a chocolate factory." Weird flex, but okay. Yeah, it's kind of a flex. I'm like the real deal. Yeah, it seems like both my professions, I wear a top hat in the Willy Wonka and the chimney side. So, all right, guys, let's bring our guests on. Hey, Jim and Angela. Hey, how are you guys doing?
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having us here tonight.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you guys for joining us.
I was so honored that you asked us to do this because you give so much to the industry. You're such an icon in the industry.
Oh,
you're a blessing to all of us. You're a leader, and to be asked to be on here is humbling. It really is. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's funny how Jim, I'm going to tell the story, Jim, how this actually happened. I've got Jim on my phone. We've talked from time to time. And then I was trying to call another friend named Jim. And I accidentally called Jim Ferguson, and he's like, "Oh, it's Jim Ferguson." I'm like, "Hey, Jim." So we started talking, and he told me that he was having the advanced software. I said, "Man, when you're ready, let's do it. Let's do it on the show." And here we are tonight. So it was a great kind of fortuitous, serendipitous moment. And here we are tonight. So, hey, Angela, tell us about yourself. Angela, what do you do for Chimspect?
Hi. So I thank you for having me on the show. I am the director of client care for Chimspect. So I do run a lot of projects behind the scenes, and then I help take care of our customers, bringing them in, training them, getting them comfortable with the software, and answer all their questions, check in on them, see how things are going. So create the tutorial videos, a lot of behind the scenes projects.
We got some fans building already. One of our Facebook users says, "I use Chimspect every job, every time. I absolutely love it." That's a great start. And then Ferd, Ferd says, "Good evening, everyone." Good evening, Ferd. Good to see you this last weekend too, buddy. Good to see you. All right. So,
Hey, Mark, I wanted to say today is a milestone for our business. Today at 11 o'clock, we keep count on how many chimney inspections our software has created. Our software has been out for just under or just over 5 years. And today, our software created over 125,000 inspection reports as of today.
my goodness, 125,000 reports have been your software has created.
Yes.
That's I don't think there's nothing close, right? I mean, it's amazing. And how many years is that? Like how many?
From our first customer to now, just slightly over 5 years.
That's incredible, and I bet it speeds up from here.
Well, I tell you, we're getting like 7,500 inspections a month right now.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is great.
so it's helping a lot of people, and we're really blessed.
Well, before we get into the demo, let's talk about you guys. Like, why did I know your brother was a Microsoft engineer, if I remember. I've got your actual bio, but tell me about yourself.
Well, I've been in the industry for about 44 years now at different levels. I've owned my own business for 40 and actually 41. And by God's grace, my wife and I have done, we've been blessed by this business. And as far as beyond loving the chimney industry, I also enjoy woodworking and making gifts in my wood shop for my children and grandchildren. And I play guitar, play some men's retreats and things like that. So I enjoy that, and I enjoy working with my family.
And so tell us how you got in the software business. I mean, you obviously just didn't create it. You saw a need, and then tell me about that journey a little bit.
Well, it's kind of a bumpy story. It's not even a pretty story. It started out because I ended up on the wrong. You've been in the industry for a while. I don't know if you know Genevieve Burrs, if you know that name. Anybody that's on this podcast that's been in the industry less than 20 years probably doesn't know who that is. But for those who do know that, she's not somebody you want to be on the wrong side of the desk of. Okay. Yeah. And what happened was I didn't do anything wrong at an inspection. And I didn't do anything that would have caused a loss, a fire, but this customer did have a loss. And I was considered, once they went through all the processes, I was considered 14% liable for this fire. And what happened was, like I said, it's nothing that I did or didn't do other than I didn't document. I didn't document that the customer refused to let me go in the basement because her 40-year-old son just was going through a divorce, just moved home, was living in the basement. She didn't want me to go down there. Well, what happened was there was something in the basement. There was wood under the hearth extension. That's not what caught on fire. The fire was a defect that was in the chimney that was built 80 years ago. But because I didn't document that there was wood underneath that hearth extension and say that they should not use that fireplace, I became 14% liable in this insurance claim.
Wow.
Well, it was because I didn't document it. If you didn't document it, it didn't happen.
Right.
So I started out making my own system, and it was going pretty well. And then what actually happened is my lead technician was using it. His commissions skyrocketed when he started using my system. And again, it was just for us. It wasn't for anybody else.
Right.
And I had my head technician who'd been using this for a couple of years called in sick, and his helper said, I can do this. Well, his helper still works for me, Matt. He has dyslexia. And I had a real concern about sending him out with my product and on a chimney fire. He actually was going out on a chimney fire. And he documented everything, made a really nice looking report, put a nice together a nice little estimate. And so a little bit of time goes past, and I'm driving out in the boonies. I didn't have cell phone service. When I get back into cell phone range, I get this voicemail that says, "Hi, this is Genevieve Burrs. Please call me at your earliest convenience." My heart sank. I'm like, oh no, now what? I called my wife. I told her, I said, Genevieve called me and I got to return her call. Why? What happened? I have no idea. I said, I called you because I want you to pray for me before I return my call. Okay. Because I'm nervous.
Yeah.
So I call her and she says, and she answered the phone herself. I said, this is Jim Ferguson. I was returning Genevieve's call. She says, this is Genevieve. She said, do you remember who I am? And I'm like, yes, ma'am. She says, then you were probably a little apprehensive about making this phone call. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. And she says, well, the truth is, I called to tell you that I was out to one of your clients' houses, and they had an 8-inch round wood burner, flue going into, big one of these old creosote producing machines going into an undersized 8x12 flue. And it was all glazed up. They had a chimney fire. She said the tile was going to have to come out. PCR was going to have to be done inside the flue once the tile were removed.
Wow.
And she said she was just worried that this job wouldn't get done correctly. And she said, I told the customer, I said, there's nobody in the state of Ohio that can even do an adequate inspection on this chimney, let alone repair it properly. I'm like, okay. She says, but then the customer hands me your report and your estimate. And she said, I'm calling you because this is the most impressive report I have ever seen come out of this industry. It is really impressive, and your estimate included absolutely everything that the customer needed. And I've advised the insurance company to just go ahead and pay the claim and have you guys do the work. So then I called Michael Sagerstrom. I said, you won't believe what just happened. I told him what happened. And he said, man, you have built a better mousetrap. You've got to find a way to get this into the hands of the industry. Mm-hmm. So with my wife's encouragement to contact my brother and see if he had any interest or any direction to send us on this project. So that's really where it was born.
Wow.
It was born out of, I was terrified. I was I was using carbonless forms at the time, right? If I had wrote on there that I didn't go in the basement, I'd have been scot-free. So now it's like, okay, I need to come up with a system where every one of my guys can document absolutely everything, and my liability is going to go down.
Well, I'm sorry you went through that, but it sounds like it benefited the industry because it happened to a guy that was going to do something about it, and you did something about it. I love that. That's a great story. Got a couple more people coming in. Our friend Joe Gwynn says, hello all. Haven't been here for a while. He's been out doing events. He's a entrepreneur. He's got an event center kind of business, and he's got several other businesses actually. Got Tony Taylor, I think he said I do when you were talking about who Genevieve was. And we got some more Facebook users. So got a nice group. So let's show the demo unless you want to say something before we show the demo.
Why don't we let Angela tell a little bit more about herself, what her background is.
You're on the spot, Angela. So let's hear about
you. I'm happy to be here. So I came to Chimspect about 1.5 years ago. My background, I'm actually a master's prepared nurse, and I've worked in a whole bunch of varieties in the nursing setting. And then Jim, my dad, came to me and asked if I'd be interested in helping with his chimney company and his chimney software. And I decided to hear him out, and I was like, this sounds like, because in the medical world we use an electronic medical record. I'm like, this sounds like just like what I do in the nursing world just for chimneys. And I've actually helped do that kind of building for the medical record in the nursing world. So I also saw the potential of working with my dad in a legacy company and jumped on board. So I've really enjoyed it. I mentioned I do a lot of the background work behind the scenes, and then outside the office, I've got 3 kids that I'm very that are very active. They're in sports. I help them with their sports and manage their teams and things. And then I have a side passion of self-defense. So I'm actually a certified women's self-defense instructor with the Gracie family, Gracie University, for those of you
Good.
familiar with the Gracies.
Mhm.
And then I train also for my own purposes, and I'm a blue belt in Gracie Jiu Jitsu as well. So
Very
I
cool.
spend a lot of time training and helping to teach others self-defense. So
That's great. I have a friend of mine that has a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. I think it's in Ohio, Lineage Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Jim Thrift, and he's actually watches sometimes on this show, and he's a black belt in the Gracie system.
oh, that's awesome.
And so, yeah, so I'm gonna actually see him in a couple months. We're going on a little sailing trip. So, well, that's cool. That's a very full life, and welcome to the chimney world. We got a couple things. Cody Whitworth said, "Sorry, I'm late to the party." And Jonah Lindley said, "Incredible story. Just won a customer over because we were the only chimney company of the 3 that did the inspection that mentioned the hearth clearance issue." Oh, so Jonah just had the same situation because we did a better inspection. We got a job, but your system really makes it so it's a lot less user error potential because there's so many things for a technician to remember. So many, don't forget to do these, don't forget to this, plus you got to do that. And that is just why you do have to build a better mousetrap, as Mike said, is that we just have to take it out of the hands of everybody trying to remember to be the best technician in the world in every code and every possible thing. And when you got a checklist, that's why pilots work the way they do. It's not like they're not great, but they made checklists so they're crashing helicopters, you know. Did you ever read the checklist manifesto?
No.
That's kind of right along this. What you said is as along the checklist manifesto. Might be a good book. I think you'd enjoy it a lot. Well, thank you guys. Let's show the demo and then watch that. And at any point, if you want to get my attention or pause it, let's just mention it. We'll be on the side of the screen and we'll watch it together, and just let me know if there's something to do while I watch. Is that good for you guys?
Sounds good,
Sounds
Mark.
great.
All right, let's bring it up here, add it to the stage. All right, I got to switch over here, videos, demo of Chimspect, and here we go. Get my audio right.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. In the next few moments, we're going to take a look at the most advanced chimney software on the market. I'll highlight a few key aspects of what being a part of the Chimspect family can do for you and your company, and then we will jump into the software and take a look at it. By using Chimspect, we will see how using our software will reduce your company's liability, increase the safety of your customer's home, increase your revenue, increase the professionalism and credibility of your company. Chimspect was born out of a quest to standardize the way our technicians were completing and documenting chimney inspections. We are family owned and operated. Chimspect is the brainchild of Jim Ferguson, our 40-year industry expert, and our basic version was developed with Jim's brother, who is a retired Microsoft software engineer. Since our software launched in September of 2018, we have grown our team to ensure our software continues to exceed expectations. Currently, our software has been used by hundreds of technicians nationwide to produce over 120,000 chimney inspection reports. And now we are introducing Chimspect Advanced, the gold standard of chimney inspection software, making faster and more accurate chimney inspection reports. Let's jump into the software. Okay, so now we're looking at basically the homepage of the browser. So we're on the internet. I'm currently in a Chrome browser, and you can see down here that I'm logged in. If I would want to log out, I can press my little logo down here. If I'd like to collapse this menu, I can open and close it right here. We have a fully built out support and it continues to grow. So this is our video library. Getting started with Chimspect is very easy. We have a full-length 1-hour tutorial where I guide someone through getting started with Chimspect. And then I have a 35-minute tutorial that is directed directly for inspectors on how to use the mobile app. So you can get started right away. You don't have to wait for an individualized Zoom call with me, although I am happy to do that. What I actually recommend is to go ahead and jump in and watch these tutorials for the owner admin, the hour-length one, and for your inspectors, the 35-minute one, and then schedule your call with me. Because it'll be the second time through. I can answer any questions, and you should feel pretty confident after that. We also have some frequently posed questions and a way to contact us as well. Our settings page is going to be where you manage your subscription, and you can change this at any time, including your login information. This is where you're also going to add your devices. With Chimspect Advanced, we allow 2 devices per inspector, so you can have your phone and your tablet or iPad active for each inspector. Then you're going to add your inspectors here for your larger companies. You're going to have the owner admin inspector, and then you can add inspectors from there. Now, a great feature with Chimspect Advanced is that we integrate with calendars. Yay! We integrate with several different calendars: Smart Service Calendar, House Call Pro Calendar, and the Chimspect Default Calendar, which is connected through Google Calendar. So for today's demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and pick my calendar. It's going to show me my appointment that I have here on my Google Calendar. And from here, I can start my inspection if I want to. When your inspectors start their day, I encourage them to start on their larger mobile device, tablet, or iPad, and open up their personal browser, log into their calendar, and pull up their appointments for the day, just like I did here. Then they can choose to save this as a new customer. I'm going to choose that right now. And I would do that for each inspection that I have. It's going to jump right over to my customer list. And now I have Mr. King right on my customer list, ready to go. And I'll show you how this integrates on the mobile device in a few minutes. But you will not have to retype information. From my customer list, I could also begin an inspection. So I could have the option to begin my inspection straight from here. And I can run my inspection from the browser only. I have the option to build my inspection on the browser, on the mobile app, and to move it back and forth from the two. I can add customers to this customer list right here by pressing on the blue plus button. And next, I want to draw your attention to our archives. This is no normal archive list. You have the option to organize your inspections from an active inspection list to an archived list. But wait, there's more. With Chimspect Advanced, you have the opportunity to click on this little action button and copy this archived inspection as a new inspection. What does this do? This allows you to keep your inspection as is in the archive list and go over to your active inspection list and see a copy of the previous inspection. This allows you to go out to a repeat customer and have all of your information, all of your photos, all of your measurements already done for you from the previous inspection, and you can just update it with that day's inspection info. We think that's pretty cool. It was a requested feature and we built it. All right, so now I'm actually going to open up an inspection that I started from my active inspection list. If I wanted to start an inspection from here, I would simply press that blue plus button. But for right now, I'm going to open up Jane Doe. And I am going to start my inspection again. I'm still on the browser. I'm just going to show you how we can start anywhere and then move it around. So I'm going to work through these 6 buttons here. And you're going to notice that it looks very similar on the mobile app so that there's a smooth experience going through both. I will start with my inspection info. I've already added a curbside photo. This would be blank. If I'd opened up a blank inspection, I would just have the option to open up my camera and drop a curbside photo here. I can pick my level of inspection and I can choose my date of inspection. I could rename my inspection if I wanted to. This is not the customer's name. Next, I'm going to click on the customer info. Now, I started this as Jane Doe, but I want you to see how easy this is to integrate straight from the calendar. Remember how I looked at my appointment on my calendar, I added my customer for today to my customer list, and now I can just press this middle button here, and I can go find Mr. King, and it's going to bring in all of my information from the calendar, including any customer notes that I had added to Google Calendar, and my address and all of the email address, phone number, all of the information from the Google Calendar is right there. Next, I have the opportunity to choose my disclaimer, and we have several, and you can build your own. With our system, you can build it your way entirely. It's going to integrate your company name and your customer name with that disclaimer. Signature acknowledgement, I can choose from templates. I can choose my own, or I can use from Chimspect. Reason for inspection, I have a list of favorite reasons. Of course, I can choose my own if I'd like. And then I also have an opportunity for private notes, which we like that if there's a safety concern about the home that you wouldn't want your customer seeing on your inspection report, or something that could endear me to that customer. Next, we go into our overview. So there are 3 sections to our inspection report writing. There's the details that we just filled out with those 6 buttons. Then there's the overview, and then there's the actual inspection element. The overview was built for 2 purposes. It was built to answer questions about the property that you would only want to answer one time, such as the pitch of the roof material, things like that, that if we put them in other templates, it would end up being repetitive. So we just did property details overview in the overview section. The second type of questions you will find in the overview are questions that will ultimately help increase your sales. Questions that will help you learn your customer's pain point, their goals with their fireplace, what they really brought you out to the home for, and how you can meet their need. So it is intended to help increase your sales. Those are the 2 types of questions. Now, I just have a training template here, as you can see, so this is a condensed version. You'll notice that the first question in overview has to do with the weather conditions at the time of inspection. Some people feel this is important and like to add this to their report. All we're expecting here is for your inspector to take a screenshot of the current weather conditions from their weather app and then drop that screenshot into the inspection report. You may notice a couple of red and green things happening over here. If I hover over it, it's telling me that this is a field validation. We built field validation so that no required information will end up missing from your report. You can customize your own field validations when you customize your templates, and this is to help your company not miss any required information when they're building their inspection report. When you meet the field validation, it turns into this green shield, and when you have not met the validation, you're going to see this red triangle. As I hover over this, you're going to see that this field requires a statement. We have 2 ways to start statements in our boxes, in our field. We have this first statement box where I can add a generic statement, such as deteriorated. And then I can customize it with my customized comment assist library that's been built just to answer this question. I can add multiple comments at the same time just by clicking on them, and you'll see that it drops straight into my inspection report. You'll notice that once I put the statement in, this field validation turned green, letting me know that I met the requirement. Next, we'll move into elements. So in this training template, there's 3 elements. There is the masonry, chimney, flue, and fireplace. And you'll notice that these are nested. If I tap on the icon, it's going to close up all of the nested elements under the masonry chimney. If I got out to the home and maybe I sold a dryer vent cleaning, I could add a dryer and a vent element right on the job by clicking on that new button and adding it from my Chimspect folder. And you'll notice that I added 2 new elements, one nested under the other. If I got out there and let's say that there was a second flue that I needed to inspect with this chimney, no problem. I can add that to my I can add that to my elements as well. I would click on flue, and then all I need to do is drag and drop that where I want it to nest. Now it goes with this masonry chimney, so I want to bring it up to the masonry chimney and nest it right there. Then I would have the option to add whatever came after that masonry chimney. So maybe it's a gas furnace, so I could add that. And I would simply drag and drop that underneath that flue, and you'll see how everything is nested and makes sense. And I can check on my nesting by opening and closing the upper element. So now I've added several things. If I added them by mistake, no problem. I can delete them very easily, and I can come back to the elements that I wanted. Now that I'm happy with my elements, I'm going to go ahead and move this over to the mobile app. I can also add elements on the mobile app, but I just wanted you to see how we add them here on the browser. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go back out to my inspections. I see Mr. King right here. Now I'm going to move over to my mobile app. All right, so I am on the home page of the mobile app. And if you notice at the top right-hand corner, it's showing my local inspections, meaning inspections that are on my mobile app and not on the browser. I had started an inspection on the browser though, and I'd like to bring it over to my mobile app. So I'm going to bring Mr. King down by moving and downloading my inspection to my mobile device. Now that I have done that, I'm back on my local page and I can press open. You're going to see this looks similar to the browser with those 6 buttons and the details. That was my cover page that I had added, my customer info that I had added. Next, I'm going to move to my overview, and you remember I had added a picture over on the desktop on the browser. It's right there. And you'll notice it looks similar, but there's a few key differences. So now I'm going to go over my my buttons in a little bit more detail. I have the option, if I start off right here with this little eyeball, to open and close. This is going to open and close my statement box, so that if I had added multiple comment assists, right, like for example right here, I can tap my eyeball and it's going to expand all of the comments that I had written and added to my comment box. If I'd like to add to these, I can simply tap into the box and type my one-off comment. If I'd like to condense it again, I would tap the eyeball and I have the condensed view. For pictures, I'm always going to want to slide over and I can see my pictures. Also, you'll notice that on the mobile device for the comment assist library, we see that cute little clipboard with the number of comments that are available for that field, which can be very helpful. And then you'll notice the green square. It was orange, if you remember, on the browser, and this just helps you know where the information is going. Chimspect built multiple reports at the same time. Those of you who are familiar with BASIC know that it builds 3 reports at the same time. Chimspect Advanced actually builds 4. So this green square and green highlighting around the field notes that it's going to go on all of the reports. The money-making PowerPoint style slideshow presentation, the customer-facing PDF, and the back office report. If I only want it to show in the back office report, if it's something like the roof materials and construction type, I would keep this unchecked marked as it is here so that it doesn't show and clutter up on my customer facing report. Now I'm going to my elements, and you can see the elements that I added over on the browser. I have my masonry chimney with a flue and fireplace that's nested properly, and I have the dryer and the vent. So I'm going to go ahead. If I wanted to add a second flue to this masonry chimney fireplace, all I would need to do is slide this over, tap on the plus button. I'm going to be into my folders, and I can use my fuzzy search, or I can just scroll through and find my flue element, adding it right here. And If I want to add an element that is going to be nested on the mobile app, I simply slide it over under the element that I want the new element to nest. And if I wanted to add a new element entirely that was not nested, I would simply press that little plus button up here. So to work through these, I would just add my information, starting with my photos and descriptions. With Chimspect Advanced, we can add 10 photos at the same time, which is a big difference from Basic, where we could only add one at a time. So I can just drop 10 photos in just like that. And then I can continue to build my statements. It's just as easy to add as many comments as would apply just by tapping on them, and you'll see it added all 8 at once. I can tap on my eyeball, open it up, close it, and I can continue to move through my inspection. Once I'm done and have moved through the masonry chimney, then I would simply go to my flue and continue from there. And when I was done with flue, I would work through masonry fireplace. So the cool thing about Chimspect Advanced is it does help you. It does really allow you to work through your inspection in any order that you would choose. You would just simply click on the element that you are planning to inspect. When we get to masonry fireplace, you're going to notice that we have a new box showing, and that is our guided fields and measurements. We're going to get started with that. I'm going to add a fireplace, and I'm going to start my fireplace measurements. This is going to guide me through the process. You will notice that as I'm dropping numbers in here, that it is going to do my math calculations as I go. It's also going to let me know if my fireplace measurements pass or fail according to the NFPA 211. All right, so I get to choose my flue shape here. We have a full list of flue shapes. I'm going to pick square, and I'm going to do 10.5 inches. And it's letting me know that I have a problem here and that my flue is undersized by 30%. I can just work through these, and I'm just dropping numbers in just so that we can see our pass fails. And it is going to continue to guide me through with these nicely done pictures that is telling me exactly what I'm measuring so that I have accurate measurements. It does highlight the measurement, the area that you're measuring as you go. So when you're teaching a new inspector, it will be extremely helpful as a study for that CSIA test. Once I finish my measurements, then you can see that I get a nice summary of all my pass fails that I'm going to be able to review with my customer. This will always show on the PowerPoint slideshow, and it will always show in the customer-facing report. I will have the option, though, to turn off the actual measurement sheets, which is like a table of measurements that we'll look at later. Some amazing things about Chimspect Advanced is that we also have guided fields for the dryer vent that is going to show us our airflow after we calculate the buildup in there. We have freestanding wood stove, our crown measurements, and detailed fireplace measurements. The crown measurements basically give us 4 areas to do our measurements, and then our detailed fireplace measurements. If you're doing a change out of an appliance, this will be of great use to you, and you can use letters and numbers in these fields. And you can also zoom in on this picture to see exactly what it's asking you to measure. So you get nice, accurate measurements there. All right, now that we have worked through these different things, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to delete these because we didn't add anything here, just so we don't have a bunch of blank information on our slideshow. We're going to look at our slideshow. Now we have upgraded our slideshow as well. There are multiple views at which you can look at your slideshow with. I like this vertical view for your inspectors to review their work before they're in front of the customer. They can review all of their fields, pictures, and make any last minute changes by just jumping back into their elements. Once they're ready to be in front of the customer and present, they're going to press these 4 arrows here, and they get a really cool professional looking PowerPoint style presentation, they're going to just tap these next buttons to work through all of the pages of their slideshow. They can review all of their comments and review their pictures. If there's something that they wanted to zoom in on, they can simply tap on the picture and reverse pinch to zoom in on the damage that they would like to showcase. And if they have a recommended repair, they will have pictures to review those as well. You'll notice some of these pictures you don't remember me putting in here, and that is because they were pre-built into the fields. With Chimspect Advanced, you can build your own fields and add your own custom picture library. They could be pictures that would help you explain complex repairs to your customer, and they could also be pictures to help you showcase custom work that you would like to sell to your customer, such as custom chimney caps. Right here. All right, once we're done reviewing our slideshow, we're going to come to our measurements. We can review all of our pass fails. This will really help us with our job sales when our measurements fail. Once we review all of this with our customer, we get the chance to hand them over our mobile device and have them sign off on it. And now we have a signed inspection report. Once we're done, we're going to tap X. We'll be out of this. We're going to come to finish, and we can generate the full PDF report. Any field that I did not fill out, remember those field validations, it's going to give me one reminder that I left some required information blank, and I would have the option to go back and fix that, but it does not keep me from generating the report. I have options to toggle on or off the cover page, header, footer, and measurements, which I'm going to generate it with the measurements so you guys can take a look at that, and you can see why you would probably want to hide this from your customer. But remember, on the office facing report, you will have all of your measurements there, and you can also generate that measurement sheet, like a pull sheet for the job, that will be a report of just the cover page for that customer, so you know who the customer is. It'll still include headers and footers, and then have all of your nicely done measurements. And you're going to see that we have this nicely done full PDF with the full page disclaimer, all of my fields that I had filled out with pictures. This would be the fireplace measurements that I could toggle on or off. This table here I could hide from this report if I did not want to send all of these measurements to my customer, but it would still include this summary here that's at the top of the page. All right, and then it's signed, and then it's ready to go. I can simply send this off to my customer by sharing the report, send email, and it's going to auto-populate my customer's information. I can send it off. By clicking send, it's going to automatically add this as an attachment, and I can send it off to my customer. Just as easy as that. Now I can come back here and tap on finish. Save and close this inspection. Maybe I'm now ready to send it back to the browser for the office to review. Maybe I didn't want to send it to my customer, or maybe my process is after I send it to my customer, I still want to upload it to the browser. I can upload it straight to that cool archive list, or keep active and upload. Now I have Mr. King back on my browser, and we still have all of our information that we've been adding. We see the pictures that we added over on the iPad. It's letting us know that we added a fireplace, crown measurements, and detailed fireplace measurement. When I come to general report, it's going to show me the report I've already generated. I don't have to generate it again, which is really cool. And I could do any final editing by going back to my overview and elements and edit anything that I needed to. Maybe if I notice some red triangles, I can make sure we get that information and get it filled out before it goes to the customer. I can do whatever I need to do. Now I would like to jump over to templates and show you how easy it is to build your own templates from scratch. We're going to go ahead and start with the Chimspect training template again. You would be in the Chimspect folder. Now, you don't have to worry. You could never accidentally change our templates. They are protected. And then you would build your own templates for your organization or your personal use. You have that choice here. All right, so I'm going to go back to my Chimspect training template. I would press duplicate, and I'm going to do demo, and I'm going to save it to my organization. Then I would simply go over to my organization, and I would go on under actions and click edit template. Now I can edit anything I would like here. One thing I can do to help save me time, if I'm always choosing that Chimspect default disclaimer, I can go ahead and add it right now to my template, and that way I don't have to choose that each time. I can actually skip this button when I'm out on the field. Same for signature acknowledgement. I can go ahead and choose that I accept this report, and then I would only need to go in and change it, which I could do on the field if the homeowner wasn't present. That way I could actually skip these two buttons when I'm out on the field. When I got to overview, I can check all these questions and see if they apply to me and my company. Maybe I don't think it's important for my guys to take a picture of the weather conditions, so I can simply double click on that, and that picture or that element is removed from my inspection template. I can reorder these by coming to the reorder button here and dragging and dropping these questions in whatever order that makes sense to me. I click that when I'm done. Then I can start to build my own custom fields as well. I can click build from scratch, and I can build my own custom fields with whatever it is that would apply to my situation. I can add a picture. Maybe it's a picture of my custom work that I want to showcase to my customer. And then I can start to build my comment assist library. I would simply click new assist, and I would have the option to label it and build my body here, and I can create as many comments as I need to, just as easy as this. And you can see just how easy it is to start building your own comment assist library, building your own custom photo library as well. I can choose to have this orange box already checked so that this is included on all of the reports, or if it was one that I needed answered for the back office only, I could uncheck it so that it was not pre-populated to the customer-facing report, whichever made sense to me. If I wanted to pre-populate my template with another flue, because maybe in our area there's always two flues that they're inspecting, I can search for the flue, and I can drag and drop that right where I want it so that it's ready to go. Maybe it changes a lot what comes after that second flue, so maybe I don't want to add, the element that would come after that, and the inspector can add that right on the job. Once I'm happy with my template, I can save it, and then I have my demo template here that I have made for my company. I could come over to inspection, start a new inspection, look at my templates. I would choose my organization. My demo template that I just created for you is right here. I'm going to open this up. You can see that the disclaimer is already there. Signature acknowledgement's already there. I can grab a customer from my customer list, and I've got Mr. Smith ready to go there. And of course, I would work through and add my curbside photo and so forth. And then when you come to the overview, you can see the work that I did there. The weather element has been deleted. I reordered these. I started my custom field right here. Moving over to elements, I had added a second flue, which you can see here. So I hope you can see how easy it is to start to build your own custom templates. You can build everything your way like Burger King. You can build it to best suit you and your company. And once you learn the buttons, you'll notice that it goes very quickly, and it's going to save you a lot of time, and you're going to build beautiful inspection reports. So you may be asking, how do I get started? First, go to chimspectsoftware.com and sign up. We give you a 30-day trial We're not sure we're going to continue the 30-day trial for too much longer. So right now you're going to get free 30 days to try us out and see if it works for you. Work through that sign up process and watch those tutorials that I showed you on the support library. The first one covers basically everything. I'm walking somebody through from an owner admin angle how to get started with Chimspect, and that is just a 1-hour recording. The second one is 35 minutes long that you can sit in front of your inspectors and they will learn how to use the mobile app. And then you can schedule your personalized Zoom call with me, and I will walk you through step by step how to use our software and start building your own templates. Here is a feature chart with our pricing that you can review. I can send you this as well if you would like. Just drop me an email at angela@chimspect.com, and I'm happy to email you this comparison chart as well. Thank you for joining us today. I hope this was helpful to you.
Fantastic. Very detailed. How are you guys doing? Is it hard to listen to yourself talk for 30 minutes?
Sometimes, yeah.
That's funny. Okay, hold on. I've got some.
Yeah, there's several questions.
Hold on. You're still actually playing. I got to pause this. Got to take you out. Okay, here we go. And then I think Jim is still muted. There's Jim. Okay. Hey, Jim.
Hey.
There was some feedback coming through and I had to mute your mic because it was reverbing back. So, wow, gosh, that's a ton of work. Man, I can see the work with people having issues they want to add, and you guys did the work.
Well, like I said, we had this out now for about 5 years, and we have been keeping track of all of the requests that our customers have asked for. We had over 100 requests of new features, and we probably, of the relevant ones, we probably added about 75 of those all in all.
Right.
And there were some that they hadn't even thought of that my software developers are fabulous, great guys. They are young, they're fresh, they are the top of their class. And they have done an amazing job, and they thought of things that we didn't even think of.
So the questions are starting to roll in. I know we are actually at 53 minutes. We usually stop at 60, but we're going to go longer. You guys good with that?
I'm good with that. I'm not seeing any questions, so if I'm supposed to see them, let me see them.
Tony Taylor says, I had asked him years ago if he was going to build inspection reports about gas fireplaces. Now wish it could be a custom template to say final fireplace install checklist. Can it do something like this?
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, we do have some templates already there for gas fireplaces. So you might like what we have. But if you don't like what we have, as Angela said, this is the Burger King of inspection reports. It is absolutely and completely customizable.
Beautiful. So, Tony, you got your answer. Next one. Let's see. Terry asked if this was going to be played. She came in late. Absolutely. It stays up on SureFire. It stays up on the YouTube channel. And any place you see or seeing this now, if it's on a social media, it stays there. So just back into it. You can watch it. Now, in fact, that's the majority of the way people watch this this show is they watch it later. So that's absolutely available. Okay. Can I change an element while inspecting, or do they have to be preloaded?
You can absolutely change the element while inspecting. You can add elements, delete elements, and you can also do it in any order that you want to do your inspection in, because you just click on the element that you're doing the inspection and then continue from there.
Right. And that's on the mobile app or on the browser.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Either. Yep.
Go ahead.
It can also, I mean, you can start an inspection anywhere, your device or your PC, and you can finish it anywhere or move it between 2 or 3 different devices and then move it back.
Right.
So it's pretty intuitive.
So when I had a question about, most of all of our guys are on iPads in the field. Is it better to use the app on the iPad or the browser on the iPad?
The app is created. Yeah. You'll want to be on the app for sure. For on the job site, the app.
Okay.
but you can access the browser if you have internet access.
Right. Can you inspect out of order? I think you just answered that, like
Yep.
start on the roof. Absolutely. And then James says, if a customer isn't home at the time of inspection, can you collect the signature electronically afterwards?
That is a great question, and I think it's a feature that we are intending to find a way to add down the road. We've already talked with our guys about that, and they said we can do that, but let's make that a back burner item.
Okay.
So coming.
That's an interesting thought. I had never thought of that. We just write down customer wasn't present at the time of inspection. Okay. Then it says, looks great, by the way. Looks, Terry says, is it possible to resize photos on the report to make them larger? Or are they locked into a certain box size?
The ones that are going to show up on your PDF report, that is one of the few things that is not customizable.
Right. It comes out of certain sizes and spaced out, right? You can't make one picture on the report bigger for the customer to see in one picture. They're all kind of on a grid, right?
Otherwise, it's going to throw off the whole how the report lays out.
Right.
So we had to work pretty hard to get the photos to fit properly. But in the slideshow, you can always zoom in on it too.
Yeah.
Right. During the presentation part, you can
Perfect.
highlight areas, but in the other thing, Terry, it seems like if you wanted to show something close, you'd need to zoom in on the camera before you took the picture. So it showed up
Absolutely.
closer on the report, but it won't change on the report size.
And if you want 200 pictures in your report, have at it.
So there's no limit to pictures on the report.
We haven't found the limit yet.
It's just 10 at a time. You upload it 10 at a time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Correct.
I love that.
Yeah, we have done test reports with over 200 pictures, and they generate quickly and very nice.
Can you make it so that there's a minimum number of pictures taken? Is that in the field validation thing? Can I say these 8 pictures must be taken?
You can make a field that says there must be a picture in it.
Okay. And you could write down what that picture is.
Correct.
But we can't say that it's got to have 8 pictures in this field.
I see. But you could have one field per picture. I need a picture of the front of the house. I need a picture of the chimney from the roof line to the crown, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And then it has a field validation where it says, I did have a question too. Let's just say you showed where you could go ahead and do the report without the field validation has an exclamation point in it. There's something missing, but you could go ahead and generate it. Will the office still see that something was missing when they look at the report?
They will.
Okay.
They'll
So they
still
can see, hey, you didn't do this picture. Now you went ahead and did your thing, but you didn't do this. Okay. Question. Do the safeguards not allow the tech to finish report until missing section? So we just answered that. You can definitely finish report.
Yeah, we chose not to do that because we felt like that could become, very a problem, because maybe that for some reason that just didn't apply. Yeah. But it's going to give you that last final warning to say, hey, you have missing information there. Are you okay with that? And then move on from there.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great feature. He also says, can you populate the info to create an estimate?
At this time, we don't have an estimating feature in our software.
Okay.
One of our things is we would really like to, and I know it's all right for me to say this, Mark. I know that you're working on a CRM that's coming down the road, and we are looking to work with many CRMs. We would like to make one that primary, because our software is built, but our software guys are still working with us. And as your software gets built out for your CRM, we can make it more and more integrated.
Right.
So that with your software, that will be where they would do the estimate.
We're definitely going to be talking as we get down that road. We're going to definitely be talking about those hooks and all those things it takes to integrate.
Yeah. Our goal is to do the best inspection reports that we can, and let somebody else like you build the CRM.
Exactly. We're very excited about
CRM,
that.
We'll work with. We are working with other CRMs as well.
Man, it's tough to build software. We're learning that. We're learning that the hard way.
Yeah, my guys have been working on this about 3 years. I mean, just actually writing code for almost 3 years.
I believe it. It's tough. Couple more questions. Tom says, can this be integrated into other CRMs such as Striven? I know the question be Striven, Service Titan, some of these others. You said you deal with House Call Pro and Smart Service. A lot of people didn't deal with Smart Service. It's interesting that you guys got in on with those guys. But tell us about integrations, and if it doesn't integrate, are there more coming? And then we just talked about it, on the new platform. But what if it doesn't integrate? What is it? It's just a double entry kind of thing. You just re-enter it and you just use it as a PDF.
Yes. Any CRM that will also integrate with Google Calendar, we can already integrate with all of those. And so
Okay.
we're not truly integrating with their software. We are integrating with their calendar through Google Calendar.
Gotcha.
Now, as we grow and advance, we will be able to do more of those. And each one of these, like Striven, we looked at Striven. Striven, I'm pretty sure, is one that interfaces with, that will also use the Google Calendar or push appointments to Google Calendar. So our software guys, what they do is they say, okay, how does this go into their calendar? Google Calendar. How do we parse this information and make it come out? That's why when Angela showed on the thing that she showed different CRMs up at the top. Right now we only had 3 on there. That each one of those is parsed a different way. So if you looked at your customer information and clicked on a different calendar setting, it's going to show up different in your customer information. So that is how we are working with those and more. And I'm positive Striven is one of the ones that uses Google Calendar.
So the 3 you are with House Call Pro, Smart Service, and what was the third?
Google Calendar.
Oh, Google Calendar. And anybody that uses that, it has a hook to it. Gotcha. Also, Philip says, does the app need data access while on the job site?
No, the app works offline. The app
Right.
works offline, and you can even do your PowerPoint presentation fully offline.
Nice. Chad Murray says Mark loves software. Chad and I are developing it, and he and actually his brother are really the side behind the details of it right now. And so it's a tough game, as you know. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. And then looks like Tom was happy with that.
And an expensive game.
Yeah.
Man, I know, and you got to keep pouring in. And you and I were talking about this the other day before the show, that you're like, yeah, we're probably 6 months out. Yeah, we're probably 6 months out. And 6 months just goes by, and you might have got a few steps closer, but then you uncovered 10 more things you've got to do. Yeah. And so it's so, because you asked me, like, when's it gonna be ready? I said, man, I don't even want to say it out loud. We're just working on it. And yeah, that's so Chad says 6 months to 2 years. Yeah, I mean, that's the truth. That's the best we could do. And I know you guys had the same thing. I had some other questions, and guys, we've got a few more minutes with them. Please, if there's anything else, ask it. I had a question. Go over your pricing real quick again per technician. I saw that you showed that slide at the end that showed, so are you going to still offer your basic software and plus advanced, or is it all just going to advanced?
We are going to still continue to offer basic for those who need it, but really the powers of it advanced.
Yeah. And so go over the pricing real quick. It looks like $250 for your first user. And it's mainly, is it priced by managed technician in the field, or is there also for the office?
So it's $250 for the company, and that includes 1 inspector.
Gotcha.
And then each additional inspector is going to be $50 each up until you are at $390 or about $400. Then you're going to go to our enterprise, and our enterprise, we can take up to 8 inspectors and 16 devices.
Okay. Let's just say you have more than that. We have more than that at my company. Can you keep going, or is there a limit to what the software can do under the
There's
same?
no limit with what the software can do. We'll just work with you individually to work
Pricing?
out a special pricing plan. Yep.
Yeah, we do the same thing with SureFire. There's some companies that need a lot of them. Some people need a few.
Yep.
One of the things that wasn't necessarily clear in that video, or it wasn't emphasized in the video, was that the dashboard, everybody has access to the dashboard or
Okay.
the browser. But as an inspector, there are different levels. You can be the owner. Of course, there's only going to be one owner, but there are people that can have administrative privileges, so
Right.
they can make changes as if they were, as if they were the owner. And there's also inspector privileges that can't make any changes to anything that's relevant. They can't delete other people's inspections, but they can log in. They can change their own password. They can update their own credentials. So it's pretty well thought out.
Yeah. I love the nesting feature you guys were showing. I was just making notes. I love that when you get there and it needed more stuff. And I can't tell you how many times when we're trying to handwrite the report or type it in, it's confusing. Which flue was this? What room was that? I love that nesting feature that you built in.
Thank you.
Let's see the field validation. So you answered that question. I had,
And one thing we didn't really talk about much in that demonstration, because our software is so action-packed, hard to create. Our goal was to create a quick overview in 30 minutes, so we actually couldn't do everything. One of the things that it is very powerful is the emailing of the reports once it's all done, which can be done either from the browser or from the mobile app. And it's going to pre-populate the customer's email address. It's going to pre-populate the report, and even whatever subject line is pre-programmed. So it's emailing is simplified, and you can do it from wherever you want.
nice. A couple more questions. Does the dashboard have a list of most common fails / passes per inspection item? Like, the chase cover is always, going to fail. Like, it's always probably got holes in it or rusted. So does the dashboard have a list of most common fails?
Well, if you're going to, let's say specifically about the chase cover, when you get to the element chase cover, and there's going to be not pass fails on the chase cover, but the most common defects on a chase cover, and they're all going to be specifically right there when you're looking at chase cover. They're not going to be other places. You click on chase cover, there might be 10 comments, and if you want 12 comments, 15 comments, you can of course build it out yourself. But your common things that are going to fail are there.
So it's not on the dashboard. It's per item.
It's built into the field with that common assist library.
Right.
And then if it does pertain to the NFPA 211 and the IRC, it's going to be clearly defined and referenced. So you're going to have
Let's
all
just
those
say
reference comments there.
Your inspection port is 90% good for my company, and I want to add things to yours. It then, when you saved it, it would then be the ash busters. It doesn't mess with yours, but it would be mine with added like things that are in my area, and then it becomes my report, correct? And
Correct. So you're going to copy the template over and then edit what you don't like, and then add the elements that you do want, and add the fields that you do want, and then save under your organization with your company name.
Love it.
So all of our templates are building blocks for you to make your own.
Yeah, right. Can you name, let's pull this up. Can you name fireplaces, example, basement, living room, bedroom?
Absolutely.
So
you just click right in there and rename them.
Okay.
I didn't show that in the demonstration, but you can just click into the box and rename it whatever you want it to be.
Right. I don't know if you guys are
either on the browser or on the mobile device. Either place does exactly the same thing.
Question about what software is it built on? You don't have to answer. I don't know if it's proprietary or if it's a question you'd rather not answer.
Our main tool is React and React Native.
Okay. Let's see. It says, I'm not sure. My name is not showing here. Hey, Jason. I'm not sure which question you answered. I think Jason asked what naming of the fireplace was. So it sounds like, yes. Jason, it's something to do with permissions when you log in. If you give permissions in, it'll show your name. If you don't, then it won't show your name. But thank you for clarifying. I've got your contact information here real quick. Let me put your stuff, verify this is still right. So the main way for people to look, is there demo on this site now on the chimspectsoftware.com website?
There's a short demo, it's just a short, quick ad for it. And then it's a landing page and answers a whole bunch of questions, has information about our company, and then you can click and work through the sign up process.
Our landing page was literally updated today with a whole bunch of information. It looks phenomenal. We haven't gone over everything that's in there yet, but
sure.
Yeah, it's got lots of stuff on it.
And then I've got this. Is this correct? Angela at chimspect.com?
Correct.
And you're the main person people will contact for buying demos. Jim's got his feet kicked up in the Bahamas, just watching the money roll in, and he's everybody else is working for him. Is that how it is?
Something like that.
There are days that I wonder, does Angela work for me or am I working for Angela? To be honest with you, she is driven.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And then we got Jim at chimspect.com if they want to contact you. But you're not. Why would they contact Angela versus contact you, Jim?
Angela is great. I mean, either one of us can answer all your questions with the software, and Angela is great with that. Angela is your best resource when you want to talk about software questions. If you have industry related questions, I'm here for you for that.
Yeah.
40 years experience. I teach for Copperfield. I teach for the CSIA. Yep. And a lot of my basic customers, when they come across something, just what do I do with this in the field? That's what you want to call me for, industry specific questions.
Nice.
Absolutely.
If you are doing an insurance estimate and you're one of my customers, I am going to help you with that. I will guide you through it. I will help you work with the insurance things. I've been an appraiser for insurance companies. I've been umpire for these things. I've been professional witness. I've been I've
been around the horn.
Yeah.
I love it. Chuck Wordhouse says, very nice demo. Well done. Oh, I need to take the banner off so you can see that, hide that. And then, sorry, just to bring this stuff up here. Yeah. So thank you, Chuck, for that. And then Chad said,
thank you, Chuck.
Jim's field setup on person is awesome. He's also a drone dude.
That's one of my 2-day classes is teaching the drone class.
He meant to say that your field setup on a tool belt. I think I sat through one of your classes on that your tool belt thing in the field. Right?
The first classes I taught was at a convention, drones, tech, tools, and toys.
I remember that. You had some really innovative stuff. Like you had a problem with your PowerPoint or something, like all technology and then the dang PowerPoint or something. And you just kind of showed, how you did it, but it was fascinating. So man, great demo. I know we've gone about 15 minutes over. It looked like we had really good attendance through the whole thing. People stayed with us. And so, and then, you guys were at Lindeman University in 2018. Is that what it was?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's upcoming for you guys? You're going to be at the NCSG show, HPBA. What's coming up for you guys? Where people can see you?
We are definitely going to be at the NCSG show. We are going to probably also be at King of Prussia.
Okay.
We are going to actually Michael Sagerstrom's teaching a class on inspection, reporting, and documentation. I forget what he's calling it. That's going to be down in Columbus, Ohio. We're going to be at least attending that class down there. And since it's about inspections, more than likely they'll ask us a question or two.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. So thank you guys so much. I know we went a little over tonight. I knew we would. So thanks for coming. If you guys got any updates down the road, need to show me, please reach back out to me. You guys can be a guest anytime. I think this software is so critical to, next step chimney stuff and keeping us out of legal hot water. Got another quick comment here. Scott Scraper says, recently switched to Chimspect and it blows our old inspection out of the water. Pro tip, don't switch software in the middle of busy season. I've been saying that for years. Some people do it anyway. I just will not do it. It'll grind us to a halt if we try it. But so, everybody's seen the pain of inspections. You've got guys out there doing stuff, missing stuff, driving you crazy. Now's the time for us. Mostly, it's not busy season's over, but it definitely takes a back seat January, February, and that's the time we like to roll out new software. So this is really good timing for you guys. I don't know if you guys have a season, but I try to roll out my new stuff for the first 2 quarters of the year and try to hold what I've got the last 2 quarters. So, but
Mark, I've got a confession. Okay, we talked about missing things, and the whole point to this is not to miss things. I have gone out in the field and it's like I am just too busy today. I got too much to do to open up my own software. And guess what? I miss stuff. And I am so angry and so embarrassed that I miss stuff. Okay, 40 years in the industry, I shouldn't be missing stuff.
Yeah, it's funny.
Use your own software. That's what you set it up for.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir because we made SureFire, and I've found out some guys had not gone through it, like new technicians. I'm like, what? It's software that we developed for your training, and you're not using it. And we had made a little glitch change in our onboarding process where you didn't have to get these things done before the next step. We switched an order and it made a bunch of people just like not, follow it. And so I know exactly what you're talking about. It could be more frustrating. You've built a better mousetrap and, people are just going completely around it, and going back. So I get that very much. Well, guys, thank you so much for being our guest tonight. Super valuable. We will boost
you so much for having us here, Mark. I am so honored. I really am.
Yeah. Well, anytime, please. Doesn't have to be a mistaken phone call to talk to each other. You can call me, I'll call you, and let's show more about this as people use it. I love that you guys have 125,000 just since your demo. You got 5,000 more inspections. That's incredible. So congratulations on your success. Good luck in the future, and thank you for being our guest tonight.
Thanks so much, Mark.
Thank you. Thank you. This has been it's been awesome.
All right. See you guys. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
And have a blessed and happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you. All right, guys, that's our show tonight. Thank you so much. Man, amazing stuff. They've done a lot of work. You could see it. You could see it in the questions. You could see it in responses that they've gone through this inside and out. And that's an amazing software. So thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Hey, thanks, Tony. Thanks for joining us tonight and being part of the show. That's what makes a show good, is that so many people comment and it's live, it's reactive, it's real time, and hopefully you learn something. Great show. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jason. All right, guys, that's our night. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you guys have a fantastic holidays, and we will see you. I don't know if I can do the week between Christmas and New Year's. I got a family vacation that I might be out on, so it might be after the first year, but we'll see. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.